Okay, it's time to talk about the Bowli. This is the Bowli at the Green Cabin, and once every week, once every 2 weeks, depending on the usage, it's time to take the stuff out of the tray below and put some new stuff in there to start to prepare for replacement. The frequency depends on the amount of use, but basically when the flap has trouble closing, that's usually when it's time to do it. So usually a good idea to take the stuff out of here. A good idea to wear gloves, and long pants is probably a good idea too. And although I don't have it, some would prefer to have long sleeves as well. You never know what's going to happen. So the lower tray should have relatively dry compost in it, and it's probably just a matter of sliding it out, and we'll go and put it in its pile. Yeah, that's a typical tray. It's nice and dry. It's actually not all that full, probably because when we rotated it last time, we didn't get it completely full, but better to be not completely full than overflowing, and then you have to clean it out. So for the Green Cabin, we have a disposal spot in behind. So we're back here by the old stove, and so we've just been putting it up here. So we just dump it up here, and I won't show it, but we usually get a rake and move it around a bit, maybe put some pine needles on top of it so the dogs don't try and roll in it. So now we put it back in. And before we put it back in, we might look to see if there's stuff which is overflown. There is a little bit, but given the time of year, it's not too much. We'll clean it all out at the end when it's relatively dry in there. And if we make a mess, we don't worry too much about it. So this goes back in. And then we take this thing out of the way, remembering which is the front and which is the back. And so now we're going to be rotating the drum, and we're going to go backwards. But the pile is a little bit high to begin with, so I'm going to go forward a little bit to even it out, and then we're going to go backwards. So I'm going to go forward a little bit. That's evened it out a little bit, maybe a little more. Actually, I'm going to do a full rotation. And when you do it that way, nothing should fall out. It's only when you go backwards. So when you go backwards, the key is never stop moving. If you do, the whole thing empties into the tray, and you've got an afternoon of fun and entertainment on your hands. So to go backwards, there is a latch right in here. Sometimes it catches, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, this goes like that. So we're going to go one full rotation, not stopping. And we check to see if we've got stuff in the drawer, and we do. So basically, we've got some new stuff in the tray ready to be disposed of in a couple of weeks. We're going to put we're going to put a little bit of the bulking material in right now, rotate it the right way 3 or 4 times, and we're all set.